Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon and our 13 games of Halloween. Today we're going to be taking a look at Funkoverse's Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, Funkoverse Strategy Game is essentially a game that they are utilizing the Funko Pop miniatures, but these are specially created for the game. They're like smaller than the standard Funko Pop. If you are not familiar with this game in particular, Funko has released a lot of versions of the game that cover everything from Jurassic Park to the Kool-Aid Man, Batman, Harry Potter. They just recently started releasing the Avengers and Thanos. What else do we... the Golden Girls, Back to the Future, Rick and Morty. I mean, they're really just covering every IP you can think of, and they continue to come out with more. So essentially the gameplay is exactly the same in every Funkoverse game. But the characters are unique in their own little way, and obviously you would want to go after the theme that you find the most appealing. So this is the Nightmare Before Christmas theme. This is Oogie Boogie's lair that we're playing on here, and what's interesting about this one is that it's a slightly smaller board. Normally these cooldown tracks are on a separate card, but I thought it was nice that they included them on this one. And normally you play kind of a 3-on-3. But in this battle, we're just going to do 2-on-2. So I thought maybe the smaller board might help increase the action. Now, a little caveat is that this game is essentially a 2 to 4 player game. It is not meant to be played solo. There's a few solo variants out there on BGG which make the game, make it so you can play the game. One that seemed to work pretty well, which I considered playing, was one that kind of utilized the opposing players as zombies, and so they just basically moved, attack, moved, attack, moved, attack in a certain pattern. What I'm going to attempt to do today, just to simply show off the game, is play two-handed. Use a little left brain, right brain here in an attempt to just show off the game. So we're going to be playing Dr. Finkelstein and Oogie Boogie against Jack and Sally. Now, I have actually modified the rules a little bit from, the whole setup for the Funkoverse, the way they are releasing the games is really nice, because every expansion essentially is a standalone. Even if you buy just a 2-pack that continues on the same character arc, you can still just play with those two. And so every game comes with a double-sided board. There's a entirely different look on the other side of this board, but they also at least come with 2 scenarios, 2 for each, or 4 scenarios, 2 for each thing. And so I've kind of taken this infiltrate scenario, but I'm really kind of establishing my own rules, which is perfectly fine. And again, it just speaks to the sandbox nature of these Funkoverse games. So what we're playing with here is kind of a modified capture the flag. And so each side has these castle tokens here. These guys are kind of hiding up here. And what Dr. Finkelstein and Oogie Boogie are going to attempt to do is make their way across to an opposing flag and then make it back to their zone. So if Dr. Finkelstein happens to go all the way up here and capture this one, he still has to make it back to his zone here where his flag is. And just like normal capture the flag, if his flag is not present, then he's got to wait here for his flag to be present. If you successfully get a flag and bring it back to your zone and match it with your flag, I'm going to give that team 3 victory points, which in this game are represented by these crystals. Again, the production value is really nice on these games, mainly because of the little Funko miniatures, which are just fun to look at and collect and play. Also, in the game, they tell you to be placing out these just kind of letter tokens here, which represent just like points of interest, which in the game, if you are standing next to and interact with, they give you a point, and they kind of disappear for about 4 rounds and then they come back. On this board in particular, especially playing left brain, right brain, it just seemed too easy that every single character on their first move would just move adjacent and interact and be done. And everybody would start with 4 points after the first round, and then we'd wait for them all to cool down. That doesn't seem very fun to me. So what I'm going to do in between rounds is roll a d10, and on a 1 through 4, I'm going to place out the token, 1 being A, 2 being B, 3 being C, and 4 being D. So it's going to be completely random whether a token even comes out and which token comes out. And then under that situation, I'm not going to give anybody points until they are standing next to the token and the end of the round comes and they're still standing. If they're knocked down next to a token, that's not going to count. So people will have the ability to race over and knock someone down if they see them standing next to a token to keep them from getting points. Also, I've gone ahead and added in the kind of fog juice token here, which I need to get out the little piece. Normally the games come with a weapon or two. This one really just comes with, this one really isn't a weapon. So whoever actually gains the fog juice, I'll put that in their hands. But fog juice really is just going to give that character an extra activation token, or not activation, but one of these gray tokens that's going to allow them to do extra abilities, which I'm about to talk about here in just a second. So kind of like a little bit of capture the flag, a little bit of king of the hill here, and a little bit of random point scoring. So again, I've kind of made up my own rules here for this scenario, so feel free to advise as you wish. But let's talk about very quickly how to play the game on your turn. And now if you're playing 2 people, you essentially just, each side controls 2 or 3 characters, or you can play up to 4 and each person takes their turn, but usually you're going to have 2 teams, 2 sides. I think there may be a few scenarios where it's like every man for himself, which I think this one might include one of those, but normally it's team A versus team B. When it is your particular character's turn, you get to take 2 actions on your turn, and those, for the most part, can be a basic movement, a basic attack, or challenge, I guess it's called in this game. It can be an interact action, it can be a assist action, or it can be a special action from your card. So let's talk about the basic actions first. A basic move action is just moving 2 squares, boom, boom. You can move diagonally in this game, but what the game boards, what they've done that's really nice is made sure they extended the scenery, made it very obvious what can't be gone. You cannot, this bright yellow line here, it represents an obstacle. And they made sure that the scenery extends past, you can see the corners. So if I'm in this space, I cannot move diagonally to this space because it's very obvious that this corner is blocked. But I could go here and here as my 2 movements to get there if I wanted to. But a basic movement is moving 2 spaces. A basic challenge is rolling 2 dice against another character. If you are attacking, you're looking for these starburst symbols or the exclamation points. The exclamation points are worth 3 of whatever you're doing, so this would be 4. And then the person who's being attacked gets to roll a number equal to their defense value, which in this case all these characters are 2. So you would get to roll 2 dice, and you're looking for shields. Any amount of shields cancels out a hit, and also if you roll like this would be 3 shields. If the challenger wins, the player is knocked over. If a knocked over player is challenged and hit again, they're knocked out and that player receives a point. I'm going to keep that rule in play. If the person being challenged, if the defender wins, then nothing happens. So that's a basic challenge, just rolling 2 dice. Whereas you can see Oogie Boogie here has a special action that he can do, which is challenge 4. That means he gets to roll 4 dice. All right, interact action is what we were talking about here, where if you're standing next to something or if you're standing next to the fog juice, interacting with it would pick it up. Or when they're next to a flag, they're going to have to interact with the flag to put it on their board, things like that. And an assist action is anytime you are adjacent to an ally who is knocked down, you may spend an action to stand them back up. Because if your character is knocked down and their turn comes up, the only thing they can do is stand up. And again, you don't want them just laying around knocked down, because if somebody comes over and knocks them out, that team receives a point. So assisting someone is standing them back up so that they can have a normal turn. Otherwise, they spend their entire turn standing back up. All right. So So those are the basic actions. Let's talk about how unique or special actions work. So each character has a card like this, which are along the bottom here, and you'll see that they have a number and a symbol next to their action. Also, each character had a certain amount of pips, usually just 2, at the bottom, and that gave their team a certain amount of tokens. So you can see that Dr. Finkelstein here had the same token set up that Oogie Boogie did. So their team has 2 grays and 2 yellows. If Oogie Boogie wants to do, say, this I don't play fair, it's a 4 gray action. So he has to take one of his tokens. He has to have one in their pool for their team, and he places it on this 4 cooldown track. That means that 4 turns later, 1, 2, 3, 4, this token will become available. So if he does 4 or 2 I don't play fair actions on his turn, both of these get put up there. Both of them will take 4 turns to come back. And that would leave, for example, Dr. Finkelstein unable to do It's Alive or Brain Scratch because there's no gray tokens in the token pool. Or if Oogie Boogie does, say, a 2, this gambling boogeyman and I don't play fair, then these would sit up here, and at the end of every turn they'd shift out like this, but this one's going to come back sooner. So basically the higher the number in the symbol, the longer it's going to take in between chances to do that one. But that's pretty much it. You basically just read out the text. You can see that all the ones that are attacking someone have the little starburst next to the name, and then they each have like a special ability that is unique to them. And that's it. That is all you really need to know to learn how to play Funkoverse Strategy Game. So we're going to go ahead and get started. There'll be some nuances that pop up as we play, but each character is going to get a turn, and then we're going to refresh everybody. It's going to go a new round. The starting team will switch back and forth. You determine the starting team by flipping this token here. So Dr. Finkelstein's team is white, Jack's team is black, and we're simply just going to flip this to see who goes first. All right, so Dr. Finkel's team goes first. We'll leave this in the middle and flip it each round. All right, so remember, we are attempting to pick up a flag and get it back. So I'm going to play aggressively as Dr. Finkelstein's team. So let's... You can see within 3 squares and place them adjacent to Oogie Boogie. All right. So not a whole lot you can do on the first round here. It's alive. Choose a token or marker within 2 squares of Dr. Finkelstein. It does a range 2, challenge 3. No, don't need to do that. Move 2, shift up to 2 things. No. Okay. So Dr. Finkelstein is simply just going to start going 1, 2. I have a little plan for him. And let's see here. I don't need to challenge a marker. So I think we're just going to go 1, 2 again, maybe, or maybe we'll go 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm gonna get near the fog juice here. Now his special ability says he gets this Igor token, which when he becomes exhausted, which he just did, Igor does a move 2 and then may push an adjacent ally 1 square. So Igor here can go 1, 2 and actually push Dr. Finkelstein this direction, or you could push him onto this. Yeah. So we'll say that. We'll say he did that. He's squatting on the fog juice, hoping to interact with it next turn. All right. So you always alternate. It's not like both team, all players go. So I either get to now doing my right side of my brain here. I need to decide whether I'm going to have Sally go or Jack Skellington go. All right, so Jack's going to go 1, 2 to move right there. Yeah, 1, 2. And then he's going to do, what's this? What's this? Da, 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 da. So he's going to put this on the 2. And this says a move 2, 1. And he's only going to move 1. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually, we'll do this. We'll move the full 2, get closer to a thing, and then this allows me to choose a standing rival, any standing rival, and I can see, so I can still see him, yes, because line of sight's very straightforward, center to center. If it doesn't cross any of the yellow borders, you can see him. I can pull them 1 square, so I'm going to pull him off of the fog juice here. All right. So Jack Skellington is gone. All right, Oogie Boogie. What's Oogie Boogie gonna do? He obviously sees an opportunity here where he can take Jack out. So he's gonna do a gambling man. Let's go put this here. He can move 2. He just needs to get adjacent to Jack, and he's gonna roll his boogie dice, which are these unique dice specific to him. And if he gets a 7 or more, basically they have normal pips on them. It's hard to see, but they're there. He gets to do a basic action. All right, and he did. He crushed it. He rolled an 11. So he's going to do a basic attack action on Jack. And he got 1. So I'll put those over there. And Jack gets to defend with 2. And Jack also got a 1. So he basically blocked Oogie Boogie's attack. All right, so Oogie Boogie could now move. He could move, or he could attack Jack again. I think we said that this side was going to play aggressively, so he's going to move. He can go 1, 2. You can move through ally spaces into an adjacent one. You just can't stop in them. And if you can move kitty corner between 2 rivals. So he's headed there. Finkelstein's going after the fog juice. He's going after this. The only person left here is Sally. So each do a non-interact basic action. What does she want to do? So she could go after the fog juice. She could 1, 2. She's not going to be able to get there. Actually, probably should not have moved to Dr. Finkelstein. So she's actually going to just make a run for it. 1, 2, and then she's going to take another basic action. 1, 2. Yep. Okay. All right, so everybody's gone. I'm going to roll my D10 here, and it's a 7, so nothing comes out. And these come off now. This flips, so Jack Skellington and Sally will get to go first, and these 2 both scoot down. Okay, so Jack, we're going to take advantage of Jack being adjacent to 2 rivals, and he's going to do This Is Halloween, This Is Halloween. Do a challenge 3 to each adjacent standing rival. So we get to roll 3 dice and 2 hits. Okay, so we'll just have to remember 2 hits. So we'll say this is for Oogie Boogie, and Oogie Boogie blocked it because that's 3 blocks, and Dr. Finkelstein blocked it with 2 blocks. So not good on Jack's part. So question is, does Jack make a run for it, or does he continue to play defense here? Hail to the Pumpkin King, or I could do a What's This again? Yeah, I think I'm going to do a What's This again and go 1, 2. I can see Dr. Finkelstein, so I'm going to pull him this way. As long as he's closer to me, it works. It follows the same movement, so I can pull him diagonally. This means he has to move before he can interact with the fog juice, if that's still his idea of a good time. Okay, but Jack is done now. So who do we want to have to go over here? Dr. Finkelstein or Oogie Boogie? I think we're going to have Dr. Finkelstein just claim that fog juice. So he's going to come in here right into the center. He's going to claim the fog juice. He gets to put it in his hand. See, figurines are just really fun. All right, and that means as long as he's holding that, he's going to get, what did I do with that extra token now? Oh, I put it over here, gave it to Jack. All right, and his team gets an extra token. So he moved, he interacted, that was his 2 actions. Boom, he is done. Back over here to Sally. Sally is heading for the flag, I think. Yeah, I think she's just going to do 1, 2, and an interact action to take that onto her board. So there we go. Okay. Yeah, she could have gone and attacked Dr. Finkelstein and knocked the fog juice out of his hand, but I think we're trying to score some points here. So, all right, Oogie Boogie is the last one to go. Question is, does he now try and play defense? No, we said that these guys were going to play aggressively, so I think we'll do that. Oogie Boogie is just going to go 1, 2, and then he likes to gamble, so he's going to do this. He's going to go 1, 2, actually he doesn't want to be any further away. He's going to roll his 2 Oogie Boogie dice, and 3 and 6 he does, so you can shift this off and go ahead and get it back. Oh no, if you roll a 7 or more, that's what it is. He takes, so he's going to go ahead and pick this up as his basic action. He's going to interact with it. All right, so each team has a flag now. So we got to stop them. All right. Okay, so everybody's gone. Pull these off, flip this over, and we're going to roll our D10. And it was an 8, so nothing there. And white gets to go first. So Dr. Finkelstein is going to probably wants to go after Sally at this point. Yeah. So he's going to go 1, 2, and then oh wait, all of this stuff I forgot to move down at the end of the round. All right, so he's going to do Brain Scratch. He's going to put this up there. It's going to be a move 2. He actually just wants to be right there and kind of get in Sally's way. He really doesn't have a whole lot of attack in him. But he can move 2, and they can shift 2 things down on the cooldown track. So he's going to get those back. All right. He's done now. Okay, so Sally is going to try and take the initiative here. She is going to do Nightshade Soup. That's a 2 with a gray token. Challenge 3, roll 1 extra die if the target is exhausted. So she actually gets to do a challenge 4. And pretty big. That is a 5 attack on Dr. Finkelstein, who only is going to get to roll 3. So he needs to roll double exclamation points. Close. But Sally got him. Okay. Alright, place or move detachable arm minion token adjacent to Sally, or move the detachable arm from the board and place Sally in its square. So she's now going to take and do detachable arm, and she's going to switch places with her detachable arm, and this now goes out here, so I'm going to have to put it back on the board using detachable arm again. But pretty slick move for Sally there with her token. Okay, and now she is done. All right, we're playing to 6. Oogie Boogie now needs to get back to his spot, and Jack is in the way. All right, so Oogie Boogie is going to do a gambling man again. He's going to move 2. 1, 2. He's going to try and come over here and assist. So he's going to roll these. He only got 5 though, so he does not win the gamble. He's going to gamble again. So he's going to go 1, and he can go here. 2. And he missed again. He only rolled a 6. He needs 7 or more. So Gambling Man did not work out for him. All right, so he's done. So Jack Skellington now. Sally's good. Jack Skellington can... He could move 2 and then attack. If he goes 1, 2... No, he's not going to be able to see Oogie Boogie. So Jack's just going to get in the fray here. 1, 2, basic move, and then he's going to do hail. No, I can't do it. I don't have anything to do. So yeah, he's just going to simply move right here and be right where he can do This Is Halloween. Oh no, he can't because he doesn't have those. But he can try and knock out Dr. Finkelstein. That'll give us even more points. Okay. Or no. What am I doing? He should go get the thing here. So he's just going to do a 1, move, interact, and claim this. Yeah. Forcing Oogie Boogie to not be able to go backwards. All right. Yeah, I like that. Okay. That was a much smarter plan. Okay, everybody's gone. So we're going to bring these off. This is going to flip. And we roll this, and it's a 0. That's a 10, so that doesn't count. These all come back. These shift down. Okay. All right, so let's see here. I don't want to fool around with Sally losing the points, so we're simply going to do a 1 movement, interact. That will score this. That'll be 3 points. That'll put back, and our team is up 3-0, and she's done. Pretty simple. All right, now we come over here, and it would be a waste to have Dr. Finkelstein go first because his entire turn would be just standing up. So Oogie Boogie's going to go. Oogie Boogie's going to assist. 1, 2. All right, so he and Jack kind of need to have a throwdown here. But no, I can't do that. So yeah, we're just really gonna go boom and boom. Put ourselves going after Jack. That's what has to happen. Okay, so Jack Skellington now. What can he do? Move to and then choose a standing ally or rival. This character can see and pull them 1 square. That's all I can do with my blues. So yeah, I think we're just gonna go make a basic challenge here. So we're gonna move 1, 2, and face off. Where's all my dice? So this is the attack action, and I completely whiffed. So no point in rolling for Oogie Boogie. All right, so Jack's now done. Yeah. Sally's done. Dr. Finkelstein is the only one left. Move 2, shift 2 things down the track, choose a token or marker within 2 squares. Your token adjacent to Dr. Finkelstein. Igor does a non-interact basic action. Okay, so yeah, let's do this. I'm going to do a brain scratch. So I can go 1, 2. I can shift these two things off. That will allow me to then do Faithful Servant. And I can pick up Igor, put him adjacent to me, and now Igor can do a basic action, which can be an attack action against Jack. So Igor attacks for 1, Jack misses. So Jack has been knocked over. This isn't good. Okay, and that's it. Dr. Finkelstein is done. So, burp, 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 burp. Okay, let's roll this, and a 1, so the A token is coming out, and A would be right there. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay, so white gets to go first. Oogie Boogie wants to go. So he's going to do a challenge 4 against Jack, and he's going to roll his Oogie Boogie dice. All right, he did not get 7 or more, so that's mute point. He rolled 2 hits, so Jack needs to get 2 or better, and he missed. So Jack has now been knocked out of the game. This is a huge momentum swing because Jack has to go over here on the cooldown track. Wait, and I forgot to move stuff off. Jack comes over here to the cooldown track. He's got to give this back. So we're going to say that goes back like that. And Oogie Boogie gets his team a point for knocking out a rival. And then Oogie Boogie is going to do a Gambling Man move. And he didn't do it, but this says if Oogie Boogie rolls the normal or boogie dice and all the faces match, shift an ability token on your cooldown track down 1. So he'll move that one down. All right, but he just gets to move 2, 1, 2. He didn't get to interact and drop off the flag. Okay. All right, things are getting very interesting here. Sally is going to go next, and she's just going to make a run for it. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. So now we're going to come back here to Dr. Finkelstein, and Dr. Finkelstein is thinking, I could block her, but he's going for the points because they're playing aggressively. So he's going to go 1, 2. He's now adjacent to the A token. Yeah, we'll just put him right there. These guys' heads are too big. All right, so he's right there. There's not much else he can do. I guess he could do a brain scratch. That'll push this down and this off. Okay, but that's it. So he could have done that. Oh, and he can do a Faithful Servant here. Yeah. So he, oh no, because he's got to be adjacent. He can't do that. Okay. All right, enough for you. And Jack, unfortunately, can't do anything because he's knocked out. So that goes like that. This is going to flip over. This all comes off. Jack now comes out, and he gets placed back in his starting area. This comes off. This goes down. And we need to roll this. And 6 did not get him anything. Okay. So, it's our turn. Jack doesn't have what it takes. So, Sally is going to do this. She's going to place the detachable arm right here. Then she's going to do this one, where Sally and the detachable arm token each do a different non-interact basic action. So this one's going to go 1, 2, and she's going to go 1, 2. All right, she's coming after this flag. She's trying to manipulate the arm. Okay, and what did I say? Dr. Finkelstein was adjacent to this at the end of the round, so that should have scored him a point. All right. These should have come off. So who's going to go now? Oogie Boogie wants to make sure he scores his points. So he's going to interact with his flag to claim this flag and 3 gems. So they're up to 5. They're 1 gem away from winning. And so he's going to try something here. He's going to go 1, 2. Again, I think you can stand on top of these tokens like this or share the same space. I don't think these count as a character. And he's going to do a snake and spider stew. He's going to choose an ally within 3 spaces, place them adjacent, so he's going to move him even closer to Sally. And then he's going to roll his Oogie dice, and he got a 6, so he didn't get it. If he had rolled a 7, this guy could have done a basic action and moved even closer to Sally, essentially giving him 2 shots to knock her out. But he couldn't do it. So Sally's already gone. It is Jack's turn now. Gosh, what does he want to do? He needs to run over here and protect Sally. So he's going to do 1, 2, 1, 2. Not much, but that's fine. That's all he can do. All right, and then last but not least, Dr. Finkelstein is going to go. He's going to go 1, 2, and do a basic attack action against Sally. And he hits her for 3, and she defends for 1. Oh no, so she is knocked down, but that's it, just knocked down. All right, so all these come off. Boom, boom, boom. This flips. This could be the game, though. This could be the game. Because technically, let's roll for this. A 3 would put the C token out right here. And let's see here. 1, 2. Yeah, I mean, Dr. Finkelstein is just going for the kill here. So he's going to do a basic attack action. Attack Sally for 2, and she... Nope. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Quick little game. Sally has been knocked out. I forgot to shift all this stuff again, but that's fine. Sally's been knocked out, but that's going to give them their 6th gem, and the evil Dr. Finkelstein and Oogie Boogie have won the day. Again, this game is not meant to be played solo. There are some solo variants that really just kind of help you experience the characters, in my opinion. They don't give you the full play experience. This game is much more enjoyable when you're strategizing against another person. The miniatures, or whatever you want to call these, are super fun to play with. Great, give super immersion factor. And again, there's so many themes out there. Just find your favorite theme and pick it. This one just happened to be a perfect Halloween theme. One thing that I meant to ask at the beginning of the video, but I'll ask now, is do you consider Nightmare Before Christmas to be a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie? This is always a big debate in my house. Do you watch this movie around Halloween, or do you watch it around Christmas? I am very interested to know what your answer is. So please feel free to leave that in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, including our final week of 13 games of Halloween coming up next week, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.